Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Ragasudha, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, Government City College, Hyderabad, is here to talk on biodiversity. The term biodiversity was first coined by Walter G. Rosen in 1986. The biosphere comprises of a complex collection of innumerable organisms known as biodiversity, which constitute the vital life support for survival of human race. Biological diversity, abbreviated as biodiversity, represents the sum total of various life forms such as unicellular fungi, protozoa, bacteria, and multicellular organisms such as plants, fishes, mammals at various biological levels, including genes, habitats, and ecosystem. Biodiversity is the variation among living organisms from different sources, including terrestrial, marine, and desert ecosystems, and the ecological complexes of which they are a part. What is biodiversity? It describes the richness and variety of life on Earth. It is the most complex and important feature of our planet. Without biodiversity, life would not sustain. It is important in natural as well as artificial ecosystems. It deals with nature's variety, the biosphere. It refers to variability among plants, animals, and microorganisms. Biodiversity includes the number of different organisms and the relative frequencies in an ecosystem. It also reflects the organization of organisms at different levels. It holds ecological and economic significance. It provides us with nourishment, housing, fuel, clothing, and several other resources. It also extracts the monetary benefits through tourism. Therefore, it is very important to have a good knowledge of biodiversity for a sustainable livelihood. Distribution of biodiversity. The flora and fauna diversity depends on the climate, altitude, soils, presence of other species in a ecosystem. Most of the biodiversity is concentrated in the tropical regions of the world. Biodiversity hotspots. A region with high biodiversity with most of the species being endemic is known as hotspot. India has two biodiversity hotspots, namely East Himalayan region and Western Ghats. Benefits of biodiversity can be grouped into two sections: consumptive value and non-consumptive value. Consumptive value include food, drink, fuel, medicine, better crop varieties, industrial materials. Better crop varieties and industrial materials. While non-consumptive values include recreation, education, research, and traditional value. Types of biodiversity. There are three different types of biodiversity, namely genetic biodiversity, species biodiversity, and ecological biodiversity. To begin with, species biodiversity refers to the variety of different types of species found in a particular area. It is a biodiversity at the most basic level. It includes all the species ranging from plants to different microorganisms. No two individuals of the same species are exactly similar. For example, humans show a variety of diversity among themselves. Genetic diversity refers to the variation among the genetic resources of the organisms. Every individual of a particular species differs from each other in their genetic constitution. That is why every human looks different from each other. Similarly, there are different varieties in the same species of rice, wheat, maize, barley, etc. Ecological diversity. An ecosystem is a collection of living and non-living organisms and their interaction with each other. Ecological biodiversity refers to the variations in the plant and animal species living together and connected by food chains and food webs. It is a diversity observed among different ecosystems in a region. Diversity in different ecosystems like deserts, rainforests, mangroves, etc. include ecological diversity. Reed and Miller suggested 6 general rules of ecosystem dynamics which link environmental changes, biodiversity, and ecosystem processes. First one is the mix of species making up communities and ecosystems changes continually. Species diversity increases as environmental heterogeneity or the patchiness of a habitat does, but increasing patchiness does not necessarily result in increased species richness. Habitat patchiness influences not only the composition of species in an ecosystem but also the interactions among species. Periodical disturbance play an important role in creating the patchy environments that foster high species richness. They help to keep an array of habit patches in various successional states. Both size and isolation of habitat patches can influence species richness, as can the extent of the transition zones between habitats. These transitional zones or ecotones support species which would not occur in continuous habitats. In temperate zones, ecotones are often more species rich than continuous habitats, although the reverse may be true in tropical forests. Certain species have disproportionate influences on the characteristics of an ecosystem. These include keystone species whose loss would transform or undetermine the ecological processes or fundamentally change the species composition of the community. Some of the major values of biodiversity are economic value, ethical and moral value, legal value. Economic value. The economic potential of biodiversity is immense in terms of food, fodder, medicine, ethical, and social values. Biodiversity forms the major resource for different industries which govern the world economy. Salient features regarding the economical potential of biodiversity are the major fuel sources of the world, including wood and fossil fuels, have their origin due to biodiversity. It is a source of food for all animals and humans. Many important chemicals have their origin from the diverse flora and fauna used in various industries. Diverse group of animals are used for medical research during the testing of new drugs. Ethical and moral values. It is based on the principle of live and let others live. Ethical values related to biodiversity conservation are based on the importance of protecting all forms of life. All forms of life have the right to exist on earth. Man is only a small part of the earth's great family of species. Don't plants and animals have an equal right to live and exist on our planet, which is like an inhabited spaceship? Morality and ethics teach us to preserve all forms of life and not to harm any organism unnecessarily. Some people take pleasure in hunting of animals. People also sometimes degrade and pollute the environment by their unethical actions. Through proper education and awareness, the people's conscience against such practices must be raised. Moving on to the next part, legal values. Legal values are embedded in the form of an act known as Biological Diversity Act 2002. This act comprises of 31 sections directing the functions of National Biodiversity Authority of India. The functions and powers of the National Biodiversity Authority are: it shall be the duty of the National Biodiversity Authority to regulate activities referred to in sections 3, 4, and 6 and by regulations issue guidelines for access to biological resources and for fair and equitable benefit sharing with foreign nations. National Biodiversity Authority may grant approval for undertaking any collaborative research referred to in section 3, 4, and 6. It may advise the central government on matters relating to the conservation of biodiversity, sustainable use of its components, and equitable sharing of benefits arising out of the utilization of biological resources. It may advise the state government in the selection of areas of biodiversity importance to be notified under subsection 1 of section 37 as heritage sites and measure measures for the management of such heritage sites. It may perform such other functions as may be necessary to carry out the provisions of this Act. The National Biodiversity Authority may, on behalf of the central government, take any measures necessary to oppose the grant of intellectual property rights in any country outside India, or any biological resource obtained from India, or knowledge associated with such biological resource which is derived from India. Next, moving on to biodiversity conservation. It is defined as protection, upliftment, and management of biodiversity in order to derive sustainable benefits from present and future generations. Biodiversity and its conservation methods. It refers to the variability of life on earth. It can be conserved in two ways: in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation of biodiversity is the conservation of species within their natural habitat. In this method, the natural ecosystem is maintained and protected. In situ conservation has several advantages. Following are the important advantages of in situ conservation. It is cost-effective and convenient method of conserving biodiversity. A large number of living organisms can be conserved simultaneously. Since the organisms are in a natural ecosystem, they can evolve better and can easily adjust to different environmental conditions. Certain protected areas where in situ conservation takes place include national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Ex situ conservation of biodiversity involves breeding and maintenance of endangered species in artificial ecosystems such as zoos, nurseries, botanical gardens, gene banks, etc. There is less competition for food, water, and space among the organisms. The advantages of ex situ conservation is animals are provided with longer time and breeding activity. Species bred in captivity can be reintroduced into the wild. Genetic techniques can be used for preservation of endangered species. Thank you all.